this is where it gets to invasion. It is an invasion procedure, is basically what it is. It's a procedure of invasion to make sure that they can get the land of Gaza and to basically take over the land. I mean, this is what they want. They don't want a two-state solution. They don't even
Bro,
want
it doesn't make
a chance.
two things. Number one, we foolishly left Gaza. We uprooted all the Jewish communities in Gaza in 2005, and now we didn't initiate the war. They initiated the war, and now we still didn't reconquer Gaza, unfortunately, in my opinion.
Yo.
Yo, how you doing, buddy?
What up, man?
All good, brother. Where you from, man?
What you said? Me? I'm from Zimbabwe right now.
Ah.
Yeah.
Right now or originally?
Well, no. Right now we're in the U.S. We're on vacation from Zimbabwe. Wait, so you the Israeli flag there? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm from Israel.
Because I know not everybody in Israel is bad. Not everybody in Israel is bad. I mean, I don't like that everybody is being shoved into one thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But if you support genocide, that's bad. If you support colonizing the whole land, that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like maybe it shouldn't be like completely even, but at least they should be able to govern themselves.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think that you are very, very, how can I say it? You ate a lot of baklawa of lies.
Baklawa of life.
Mm-hmm. I can explain, but you know,
right?
it depends if you want to stay and have a conversation, because if you don't, like many of the, let's say, pro-Palestine activists, then you probably will run away. I hope you're not.
I'm not, I'm not running away.
Okay, so let's have a conversation.
I've been dealing with the country my whole life.
All right, good. So let's have a conversation. So you say two things which are not incorrect, but viciously wrong. Number one.
Viciously wrong.
Yeah, and I'll explain. We can have a conversation or a debate about that. Depends on you.
We can have both.
Sure. Why not? I'm all for it. Number one, you said that there's a genocide, and you said that there's a colonization, or you said genocide and colonization, right?
It was originally a colonization, and now it has shifted towards a genocide because of the amount of killing of the people. You have, like, not you specifically, but the IDF, the government has killed. You're talking like closing in now to hundreds of thousands. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, hold on. Factually, the numbers, which, by the way, I don't really refer to human beings in numbers, but they're also human beings, obviously. But you said now 100,000 people killed in Gaza, right?
Not specific enough, but you're ranging there. You're getting up to there. I mean, I have to go look at the exact statistics at the current moment.
By the way, hold on a second. I want to say something what a lot of pro-Palestine people suffer from. The exaggeration. For example, I remember during the war, by the way, not a genocide, a war that they began against us, they said that there are about 200,000 or 300,000 Palestinians killed, all of them innocent in Gaza. Now, wait, hold on. I listen to you. I listen to you. We have a conversation. Hold on. Then you will respond. Let's have it civil.
Sure. All right. I'll give you your time.
Thank you. Now they say 100,000, but nobody said the number that the Palestinians themselves in Gaza say, which is about 70,000, which we also know. And more than that, they call genocide as they also include the Palestinian fighters that never miraculously wear uniform. There's also innocent people that die. So on that moral note, maybe also what the Allies in World War II did, killed a lot of German kids fighting against Nazi Germany. That was also German genocide, probably. No?
Look, I mean, it depends on how you view Hamas as a group in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like, they defend their people. And in that sense, yeah, they're going to terrorists, sadly. You know what I'm saying? And at the same
Okay,
time,
you know what? Let's say that I agree with you that they defend their people, but they are still fighters. They're not innocent people. They are combatants. Are they innocent people
sure.
or combatants? That's the question.
Oh, they're combatants, but we don't know the. I mean, again, talking about the death count right now, I need to go back and look at the statistics. But you're saying only 70,000 are in Gaza. That's incorrect.
That's their number, not mine. By the way, that's the number of the health
70,000
ministry in Gaza, not mine.
70,000 deaths. You mean?
It's not only the dead people,
Including combatants and
malnourishment.
civilians. Yeah, 70,000.
That's a good point he's making. I mean, you have 70,000 deaths, but you have about 100,000 people at least malnourished. That's minimum. Maybe a couple 100,000 people malnourished.
No.
You know, I mean, they're not letting aid in. Look at the global flotilla, for example. The global flotilla.
Let's talk also. Wait, just second. Let's talk also inside. Wait. I want to hear you. I will hear you. I'm not. We're having a conversation. Okay.
Okay.
Whether I disagree with you, you disagree. We have a conversation. But the starvation accusation, let's put it after that. Okay. But let's first focus on the allegation for genocide. Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of because you know how many. Well, because that goes into it exactly. They all merge into each other because at the same time, as you are contributing to starvation, that in its own right is genocide. Because
there's no starvation in Gaza. I'm sorry, there's no starvation in Gaza.
But there is because I mean you can.
If
see
there was starvation in Gaza, one question: if there was indeed starvation in Gaza, how come from malnutrition maybe 10, 20 Palestinian children die? By the way, I'm not saying that it's not sad and painful.
If you're living on the edge of life, if you are living.
And by the way, regarding 2 years, one question: 2 years that you know that Israel controlled the borders with Gaza during that 2 years of war. If indeed Israel wanted to make starvation, I mean, in 2 years not to let food in 2 years not to let food in, they not should be dead. Look, 20, 30 Palestinians from allegedly starvation should be probably 200,000, maybe 2 million.
The IDF is very, very careful. Like at the same time, they're not careful. So this is what I'm trying to say. Israel's government, as one, like they don't at first, like you don't know if they want to be hated by the world. Like right now in this situation, I mean, you can see social media, the reactions of how people are towards Israel's actions has been bad. You know what I'm saying? In the sense, I'm saying that the IDF is very careful in what they can do and what they can't do. I mean, you have protests in Israel right now, right? Talking about whether, and this is for sure fact, like whether they can rape or whether they cannot rape the prisoners, and whether they are allowed to or whether they're not allowed to. This we're talking about IDF soldiers, not like regular civilians. But you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't you supposed to serve in the IDF? I don't know how many years. Your term?
3 years, yeah.
3 years. So you served as well in the IDF at one point in your life.
Praise the Lord, yeah.
How old are you now?
I'm 45.
45. So this was, what, 27 years ago? 24 years ago?
More than that, yeah.
Okay, so, you know, within Israel and the IDF and its country as a whole, I mean, you're on the brink of civil war, you're talking here.
We are the what? Again, what? We are the what?
Not on the brink of civil war, but there's a lot of civil tension within the country.
Of course, because we have differences. We are democracy. We are liberal and you know, we are people that like to have arguments and discussions regarding issues that we agree or disagree. But we allow freedom of speech and freedom of thought and freedom of choice. By the way, way more. Wait. I listen to you. We have a conversation.
You have to let me talk, man.
But I allow you to talk. I'm just saying we have a discussion. You want me to not talk? Okay, I will listen to you.
No. I'm not saying don't talk. I'm just saying I want to complete my point. Like I'm
sure. Go ahead. Go ahead. Fair enough.
So, within the IDF. So what I'm trying to say is within the IDF, there's definitely people that don't want to serve for the IDF but still have to in the first place. There's definitely people that are like that. So you can assume that within the Israeli army, somebody's leaking stuff like this to make the IDF look bad. Am I wrong? And not just look bad, show the truth of some of the IDF, because it's not clean, man. It's not clean. I mean, you can't go on and say it's a clean record when right now as we speak, Israel is bombing within the south of Lebanon and trying to enter, creating bases and getting into the country.
Why not?
You
So
can't
if
say
they are
that.
if they are our enemies and they are sworn to kill us and our women and children, and they are weaker than us, why is it that
Who's
we cannot wait?
who's the
Hold
enemy?
on, hold on,
Has
hold on,
Lebanon
hold
ever
on, hold
invaded
on, hold on,
Israel?
hold on,
No.
hold on, hold on. Why aren't we allowed to kill our enemies? Why aren't we allowed to kill before they want to kill us? Why is it okay for them to kill us? I tell you why. Because unfortunately, a lot of you guys, whether you come from a good place,
Yeah.
you basically are the racist ones because you view them as noble savages.
Oh,
As a,
no, 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 no,
I know
no.
it pisses you off, I know, but I will still say it. And because you view them as
Racist.
noble savages, they have no responsibility, no accountability, and they can act as barbers and primitives, and they have a free pass and no responsibility. And you know that I'm right, and therefore,
No, hell no. Hell no,
you
you're not
want
right.
from us accountability for every single minor thing, but they have no accountability. They can do whatever
Because
they
who's
want.
in power?
They can
Because who's in
Wait, no,
power?
no, no. Now I'm talking. I will allow you to talk after that. They can kill,
Okay.
they can rape, they can blow buses with women and children that you deny that happen nowadays because you probably didn't learn history. And when we do, by the way, war is a nasty thing. You know, I'm not saying that there's no wrongdoings from our side also towards them, but you will never point a finger at them because you infantilize them. And that's
So you're
the
saying
real
the IDF
racism.
wasn't.
That's the real
So you're saying the
racism.
IDF wasn't formed through terrorism. The IDF
No, because
literally was recruited through terrorism.
if we're gonna talk about history, because we're not bringing up history, I'm bringing right now, because you can't talk about what happened 25
You
years ago.
can't
You can't talk
differentiate
about what
between
happened.
what happened in history and right now. You cannot. You cannot.
Okay, well then you have to even make a point as to the first place as to when in 1948.
Does the
when
conflict that
Israel was
begin in 1948?
Yes.
So what happened in
not even
1920 and 21 and 1929
that was
doesn't count, right? The history began
well,
1948. That's what you say?
it begins as soon as you start arming Israelis against the Gazan people, and then on top of that they fought with Egypt, and then on top of that they fought with Jordan.
This is the baklawa of lies, the cherry picking from history that you
and then
convey,
Israel
not
is
me,
fighting with Syria.
that you convey,
Let me continue.
that you
Let me
convey,
continue. Let
you
me
convey
continue.
cherry picking in
Well,
history. If you say
you
that the
can't fight
conflict
against
began,
Syria.
if you
You
say,
can't fight
if you
against
say,
Lebanon. You
if you
can't fight
say,
against Gaza,
if you say that the
Egypt,
conflict
Jordan.
began, if you say that the conflict began in 1948, and basically for you it begins only 1948 and nothing before that counts, then okay, that's your problem, not mine.
Well, I'm not going to talk about the history of uh, Judaism in general.
No, but even the beginning of the
because at the end of the
20th
day,
century,
because
why not educate yourself? And again, I'm not saying that we are saints and we never did wrong. I'm not saying that. Why not educate yourself if you really want to talk about something which has a lot of
I am
importance to
educated in myself.
humanity?
I mean,
At least you get my advice.
I haven't even told you my real.
Get
I
yourself.
haven't even told you my real origins. I'm waiting until the end to tell you
That's
that. Because,
great. That's great.
Look, I've been dealing with you guys my whole entire life, man.
That's great.
This is where
That's good. By the way, I just want you to understand. This is our land. We're not going anywhere. The more you resist us, the more you
and you
people
know
are going to
what?
suffer, unfortunately.
And you know what? And you know what? I never said I don't want people in the land. Not Lebanon, though. That's not, you know what I'm saying? It was never that big in the first place. I mean, I've seen the greater Israel.
Okay.
No, hell no. You can't take all that land.
By the way, what is greater Israel? I want to understand what you think about what is greater Israel.
I mean, I don't, what are you talking about religiously, or are you talking about land-wise?
No, what you think as an individual, that what do you think that we think is greater Israel?
The occupation of Syria. I mean, I'm just talking about land mass-wise. I'm not talking about, I don't know exactly like what it is within, but I know what lands. I mean, I've seen the map of greater Israel and its map, and what lands it wants to occupy.
You talk
Syria,
about the Euphrates in Iraq and until Egypt. That's what you refer to?
Yes, that big.
That's, by the way, I'm just going to give you some information. That's the land, the biblical land that was promised to Abraham, who is our father, your and ours, because I assume that you are Muslim.
Are you
or
religious,
Christian.
or are you a secular Jew?
I'm a believer Jew.
So you're a believer Jew?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you believe in Judaism, you know that you are not supposed to be in Israel anyway until the Messiah comes back.
Do you know Judaism more than me?
No.
I mean, this is an interpretation of a very small sect of Jews. Why? This is my question to you. Why do you choose? Wait. This is important. Why do you choose this interpretation that small sects of Jews believe in, and not the interpretation of the majority of Jews actually, who are Zionists, that believe that we are, that it's, that, I don't know if you're Muslim. Wait a second. Wait, I want to hear you. It's important. Wait.
I'm going to answer the question.
Wait. It's important. It's important. Wait. You know, okay, go ahead.
The majority of Jews right now are involved in a war, and you could say war, you could say genocide, you could say it however you want. They are right now involved in defending and overpowering the Gazan people. I mean, they can't even fight back. You know this. They can't fight back.
Who, the Gazans?
And yeah, they can't fight back.
They can't. So AK-47 and rockets and RPGs. That's okay. So that's
you guys have AI drones. You guys have AI missiles. You guys
they are weak. They are weak. I agree. They are weak. But But again, don't infantilize them. Don't infantilize them, because even someone that has AK-47 that's gonna point his AK-47 on you, don't tell me he's not gonna hurt you. Don't infantilize them.
And I'm not saying they can't hurt you individually, but I'm saying as a people, they cannot invade and take over Israel.
What did they do on October 7, bro? What did they do on October 7? The fact that they didn't succeed. The fact that they didn't succeed to do what they wanted to do, which is to destroy us and take over all of Palestine, doesn't mean that they don't want to do that. Let's be real.
This was back in the 1940s, and you're also talking about a time where the Zionistic idea and belief was built in the fact that I'm just saying, like, Israelis, and I don't want to subjugate everybody within it, because again, there's different people in Israel, but a group of people wanted to build their land and govern it on their own, and then start taking surrounding lands within that. I mean, you had disagreements about land from the beginning at that time. And I'm not saying, by the way, that Israelis shouldn't have land in Palestine, because if you want to argue, like, how many times were there like a two-state solution that, like, things should work out? You know what I'm saying? And now,
by the way, I want to tell you something. I don't know who you are. I don't know what your origin. I assume that you are from the Middle East, but I want the viewers that are going to watch this to understand that he is relatively, even though I disagree with almost everything he said, he's a respectful person. He knows how to have a debate from a place of disagreements, and I have respect for him. That's what I had to say. And by the way, where are you from, if I may ask?
I'm from Lebanon, man.
Are you Muslim, Christian, Jews, if I may?
We'll keep that out for now, man. Just because, for the sake of respectful argumentative purposes, I'll tell you at the end. Like, I'll tell you when we're done.
Okay, I assume that you are a Christian. I assume. But no?
See, this is the thing about Christian Lebanon. I see. This is what I don't like about Lebanese politics in general. I mean, you have one side agreeing to disarm Hezbollah. You have one side agreeing to keep them armed. I mean, at one point, if Hezbollah is unarmed right now, and you know this. And
they're not really unarmed. They're not really unarmed. We just kick their ass. Come on, man.
If they are unarmed, is what I'm saying. If they do become, they're not unarmed right now. They're armed.
Right.
They're very armed. They're very capable, but not in the Air Force military. Yes, I understand it.
Well, but again, it goes to the question of abilities and, of the will and the abilities to execute what regarding the abilities that, Hezbollah or Hamas have. I mean,
Hamas are the same but different, because you have one side that is wanting to protect its own south more so than everything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you have it funded by Iran, but you can have a different conversation about that. But I'm talking about current, regular Hezbollah, not like the whole grand scheme of it. They want to keep the south. I mean, there is bases right now in Israel. In the south of Lebanon at the current moment.
Sure. And by the way, we should have took more land from Lebanon because of the war. In my opinion, you don't have to agree. Of course,
there should be no land taken. Why?
We should have. In my opinion, we should have occupied all of southern Lebanon. In my opinion.
Why?
Why? Because they attacked us. I mean, what happened in October 8th? Wait, hold on. In October 8th, when you attack, you get punished. That's how it works during all history.
what about in 1977? I mean, you had Israel in the whole land and country.
By the way, also
completely
1982, when we invaded Lebanon, why did we invaded Lebanon? Every
Why?
time that I speak with people from the other side, they don't ask the question why. They always see the result. Why did Israel invaded Lebanon in 1982? I will tell you why. Because of the rockets that Palestinian Fatah, actually, I want to call them terrorists, but for you they are freedom fighters, that they shot over our north, and also the incursion. I'm saying, you know, I call them terrorists, you call them freedom fighters. Fine, right?
But we need to get. I want to get back on that
But
topic,
what
because
is the reason for 1982, for example? Like, many people don't ask the question, what is the reason for 1967 and 1948? And also, what is the reason of the whole war that we have, we, the Jews, against you, I assume, the Muslims? Because you're probably a Muslim, probably.
Well, I want to get back on this topic right now. So, there's 2 points you're making. One is that Israel is justified in its actions. Am I wrong?
For me, for sure. Nothing, everything. By the way, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not justifying everything that Israel does, but when we are being attacked, hell yeah, we're going to attack back and we're going to take land when we need.
But have you noticed one thing, though? Have you noticed one thing?
What?
It's always Israel that's doing the invading and not the other way around.
So what happened on October 7?
Oh, my God. That's invasion?
That's not invasion. Wait, when you pass the border,
have you seen the videos of the protests?
When you pass the border, wait, take responsibility, bro. When you speak about responsibility and invasion, take responsibility.
Let me continue. First of all, okay, so that invasion counts for 70,000 deaths in Gaza. No.
I mean, they should have surrendered, and then it could be ended in probably
so
a couple of months.
So if they don't surrender, keep killing civilians.
So we should surrender.
What happens to the civilians after they surrender?
So what do you think should be the solution?
What is surrendering? What is your surrendering in your position? In the position of Israel, surrendering is just stopping.
No. I tell you what for me it means. I tell you what it means for me. Surrender, okay? With all honesty.
In your own borders.
No. Listen.
Israel's borders. Forget about Gaza.
For me, surrender in the case of Gaza means for them to lay down their arms, to end the resistance,
that's only
to stop the resistance, and we're gonna take over Gaza. We're gonna rule over Gaza. Wait, I didn't finish.
Nope. I mean, I can't hear any more of it because
if you're fragile with my opinions, it's your problem, not mine.
It's not even fragile.
I'm telling you my opinion, but you didn't even let me finish.
Fine, continue.
We're gonna take over Gaza. We're gonna provide them 3 options. Option number 1, you want to fight, bring it on, you're gonna suffer. Option number 2, you want to move away, you want to go to Arab country, you want to go to Europe, to America, fine, the door is open, get the fuck out. But option number 3, if you want to live with us, if you want to live with partnership with us, if you want to have the benefits and the blessings actually that Zionism, the Jewish people return brought, join Israel, be part of Israel, live under the same constitution, same law. You can live also in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, and we can also live in Gaza. Jews should live in Gaza too. Why can't Jews live also in Gaza and have synagogues in Gaza? Why not?
At this point, the IDF is going to wipe out the people before anybody's even able to live in Gaza.
No, but tell me what you think about what I said.
Look, it's good. It sounds nice in theory to a degree. Like you're saying, everybody's safe and everybody's good.
Under Jewish rule, yeah. Muslims will live under Jewish rule. Why not?
They have no authority over their own people. Why can't they have authority over their own people anymore?
Because this is not because
you're telling people.
Because
so
this
that's
is not
invasion, my brother.
Because they have no historic justification. They have no biblical justification.
They had
no religious justification. And worse than that, their rule is bad. Their rule doesn't allow Jews to live under their rule, and it's also terrible over their people as well.
How many Jews need to live in Gaza?
Why Jews should not live in Gaza? Why?
But I look from the border of Lebanon. Look, I stand at the border of Lebanon, and I look over and I see Israel is flourishing right now.
Baruch
Oh
Hashem,
my God.
Alhamdulillah, Baruch Hashem.
The houses, Alhamdulillah, the houses are beautiful.
Why
The
not?
people are thriving. The gardens
This is the
are
blessing
great.
of Allah
and
to
then
us.
and then you have one little small piece of land right in the corner of Israel right now, where Gaza lights own the last little bit. Destroyed buildings.
Of course,
fucked.
of
People
course.
are living under the rubble. All
That's what
because
happened
you
to
are
those that
basically
resist the will of
forcing
Allah, if
them.
you ask me.
Well,
Unfortunately, it
because
doesn't
that's
have to be like
basically
that.
No, it does though.
It
Because
doesn't
you're
have to
forcing
be
them
like that.
to have to join
If they only
Israel.
accepted the ultimate truth, which is
That is essentially that's three things: ethnic cleansing, invasion.
where ethnic
and then on
cleansing?
top-
Where is the ethnic cleansing in
ethnic
Israel?
cleansing,
How
you're
come
going
there
to-
are 2
you're
million
going
Arabs
to
living in
disperse
Israel?
them. They
How
can't even
come
have
there's
their
2
pure
million
culture.
Muslims living in Israel? How come in Judea and Samaria, what you refer to mistakenly as the West Bank, there are 3 million Muslims? And how come in Gaza there are 2 million Muslims if it's ethnic cleansing? All is in theory. Bro, you're
I'm
not
not
connected
saying-
to the reality. And you are, as a
But-
smart person, also respected person that have good values. How can you accept this baklawa of lies? Where's the ethnic cleansing? Like, where's the genocide? This is
ethnic
all
cleansing-
terminology, by the way. Listen to this. You guys, I really suspect that you guys, the Muslims, the Arabs, you fell to the woke of the left, the woke left that basically say there's no difference between male and female. Male and female, I mean, a male can be a female, a woman or a man can identify as a dog or as a cat. Now basically a war can be identified also as genocide. And the return of indigenous people can, and the
that's
return
not
of,
at all the same.
and the
A war-
return,
a
and the
war and a
return, and the
genocide are very
return,
different things.
and the
So let me
return,
say
and the,
this.
let me finish, and the
Okay.
return of indigenous people is also identified as colonialism. That's the same
Well,
logic.
you can make the argument that back in
It's all about terminology, bro. It's all
but
about
you wanna use
terminology.
terminology, then you can
You
say that
coin
Hitler,
terminology.
it was just a war.
You
It was a
coin
war against the Jews,
one
no?
thing, and I want to hear you, bro. I'm gonna finish.
Okay.
You coin terminology which is factually incorrect and corrupted. Again, like a woman can identify as a cat. Now a war can be identified as genocide. That's the same
Not
logic.
the same. Well, no, not the same. First of all, let's get on the fact that I don't agree a woman can be a cat, but that's not the point. The point is what I'm trying to say.
By
is
the
that
way,
now
I
you
don't
can
agree
use-
that
I mean,
I don't
do
agree that a
you-
woman
do you
can be a
agree-
cat too. So we
Okay.
can agree about something. That's something good.
Yes, we can. Because,
Alhamdulillah.
well,
Let's say cheers
Well,
to that.
I want to hear. I want to talk, and then I want to hear what you disagree about Israel. I want to hear what you disagree about Israel. That alone is on topic.
Okay.
Because I'm curious.
By the way,
to
do
what
you
don't
smoke
like
Death Row vape mint?
Yeah, it's a vape. Yeah.
I love that's mint,
no,
right?
not weed. No,
Weed.
it's just no, it's not weed. It's not weed. No,
Is it mint?
not weed. Yeah, it's mint. Yeah.
I love mint
Anyway.
flavor. Anyway, go ahead, man. So what do you want to ask me?
So, I want to say that like where was I? Sorry, I need to.
You wanted to ask me, and I'm gonna say that because I don't want viewers to think that I'm deflecting from hard questions. You want to ask me, what do I disagree with Israel?
Oh yeah, well I'll ask you that after. I was thinking more on the point of with the Jews in Nazi Germany. I mean, was it a war or was it a genocide? What was it?
The situation of the Jews in Nazi Germany?
Yes, I mean, because you want to talk about you want to use terminology. I mean, you're basically saying I can pick and choose whether with terminology whether it is or isn't what it is.
Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, you had a small group of people, not small. It was a decent amount, but not versus what they were going against. I mean, they had no army, they had no country, they had no power.
You refer to the Jews in Nazi Germany right now, yeah?
Yes, in that point in time. I mean, like.
By the way, honestly, did you learn even the have you read have you read books about it, or you saw a couple of videos in TikTok or Instagram or Twitter?
I'm not even getting on that. I'm not getting on about what exactly happened. I'm talking about how you terminology, how you use it. Like, can you justify it as a war? Would you be upset if somebody justified it as a war?
What the Germans did to us, by the way, not only in Germany, but in Poland and in Russia and in all of Eastern and Western Europe, that was a goddamn genocide. Yeah. That was a
Okay, so-
Holocaust. That, by the way,
and you
unfortunately,
gotta-
a lot of you guys deny nowadays. Up until 10 or 20 years ago, most overwhelming majority agreed in a consensus that there
I am
was
not-
Holocaust and genocide against the
I am
Jews.
not disagreeing. I am asking if you would be upset if somebody labeled it as a war against the Jews rather than a genocide.
Of course I would be, of course. Why? Because I know
when
the facts
you
and the
now-
truth.
So now when Jews, this is my point, now when Jews have power, now when Jews have a country as big as America, basically the same country. We're going to get on
Not
that.
as big as America. Come on, man.
Not as big as America. Actually, if anything, Israel's bigger now. But anyway, let's
No,
talk
come
about
on. You
that.
know now, by the way, that the Americans have a base in Israel and they dictate what's going to be in Gaza. By the way, and during the war, they also dictate a lot
Israel
of decisions
to
in Gaza.
America. So Israel from Israel to America back to Israel. So yeah, the base.
And by the way,
controls,
I
like,
basically think that we should be free from the American money and be real ally of America, not receiving money from them.
I mean, yeah, $8 trillion is a lot of money. And that,
But
that was
so
in,
do all the countries
this
should
is
be
in-
without
this puts the
funds
US
from
in debt. I
America.
mean, you should see the economy here in America. I mean, you know.
By the way, also the Palestinian Authority should stop getting aid from America, which they do.
And so
Let's be
everybody
fair.
should be not getting aid from America. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, they're
You know, by the way, in Judea and Samaria, what you refer to as the West Bank, there's so many places where U.S. aid, big U.S. aid with American flags are, that were donated by America to the Palestinians.
Let's get on the point of what I mean by this, though, because the money that's being funded from the U.S. to Israel, taxpayers, my tax money, everybody's tax money. I mean, no choices. We don't really have a choice as to whether it gets sent to Israel or not. That's one thing. We don't have a choice whether it gets sent to Israel or not.
But not only to Israel, also to Egypt, also to South Korea, also to the Palestinian
Agreed.
Authority. So let's agree that everybody should stop.
Except currently, they're not killing people. That's one. And then at least they're not killing a good
Wait,
amount of
again, you always confuse between the reason and the result. We did not start this war. And those that start the war against us, there are going to be consequences.
You can argue back in the 1940s who really started this war or not.
In the
You can
1920s?
go back in the 1940s because we're going to talk about that specific war which separated between lands.
Look, man, I'm not going to give you a history lesson, even though I know history and I study history. By the way, from the pro and the anti-Palestinian perspective, from the pro and the anti-Israeli perspective, I learned it from both narratives, okay?
Exactly.
I don't really think, I think that you're humble, but I don't really think that you really studied history. I think that you heard about history from social media. That's what I think.
Not social media. No. Let's get back onto the topic, but that's not the point, is what I'm trying to make anyway. Whether you think I'm uneducated or not.
I'm not saying that you're dumb. I'm not saying to degrade you, no. But I'm saying that a lot of young people like you, they get their sources, their historical sources, from people that have agendas that many times are not balanced and not representing the big picture of history.
My father is a lot older than you, and he will tell me exactly as to why I should never, ever support Israel in any way because of what they've done and how they have.
Fine, I have no problem with that, by the way. It's okay. That's legit criticism. It's okay.
So what I'm trying to say is now you have a group of people, a big group of people that have been genocided and abused and everything their entire lives, not their entire lives, because you did not experience that in your lifetime, but I'm saying your ancestors.
Okay.
They go through this, and they do get power. They do get their own land, and now you see in present time history wanting to repeat itself because either now you have to start thinking holy shit, why would they do this to people when this has happened to them? This is how you have to view this, because no matter how you like it or not, and no matter how you agree with it or not, Israel looks bad right now.
It looks bad. Why it looks bad? Because we are only 15. We are only 15 million Jews Not all of us, by the way, support Israel. Many people in the U.S. is Jewish Americans start to be anti-Zionist, even though I don't know the exact numbers. But in your Islamic Ummah, all of you guys are uniformed against Israel. You don't have even place for criticism to ask questions whether you are right or wrong. You don't have any conversation about that.
We can talk about religion all day, but
No, not even. It's not even religion. It's about numbers as well. You guys basically outnumber us 100 to 1. When you have social media and you see someone that has 100,000 likes and someone that have 1,000 likes, who do you think that speak the truth?
Are there people going to be watching this right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to tell everybody that Saudi Arabia basically supports Israel.
Yeah, but the people do not. But the people do not. Let's be honest. Let's be real.
And that doesn't. Maybe the people do not. But at the end of the day, nobody really has power right now as a civilian.
Yeah, but when you speak about propaganda and social media, and what convey basically the public the agenda, obviously when you're gonna see so many likes and so many shares for a certain point of view against something which is like a 100 to 1. I mean, obviously, more so if you are one of that group, you're not gonna see the truth of the other group.
Well, I mean, this is the problem: is you haven't and you cannot convince me because to me, there's no real proving that it isn't a current genocide. I mean, I've seen videos and I see, and not just you. I mean, you have been the most respectful I've talked to so far with your views on your people, and to a degree I respect it in that sense because you want your people to continue to live and to flourish.
By the way, not only that, I also want them to continue to live and flourish with us, but not under the context of two-state solution or Palestinian state.
There should be, but see, this is where it gets to genociding. This is where it gets to invasion. It is an invasion procedure, is basically what it is. It's a procedure of invasion to make sure that they can get the land of Gaza and to basically take over the land. I mean, this is what they want. They don't want a two-state solution. They don't even want.
It doesn't make two things. Number one, we foolishly left Gaza. We uprooted all the Jewish communities in Gaza in 2005, and now we didn't initiate the war. They initiated the war, and now we still didn't reconquer Gaza, unfortunately, in my opinion. And I told you again what I believe in.
You're telling me an army
and I'm telling you again, and I told you again what I believe in. 3 options: either fight, either get out, or live with us, with partnership.
I mean, what's the?
But another important thing here. You speak about Gaza. Gaza is a place that not even a single Jew live. In Israel, you have 2 million Arabs that live under Israeli rule. So you will tell me. So you will tell me, where's more appropriate or potential for coexistence?
Do you think
Wait. I ask you a question.
Okay, well,
where's more potential for coexistence or partnership between Jews and Palestinians or Jews and non-Jews? Is it in Israel where 2 million Arabs already live? Or is it in Gaza that no Jew live, or in the West Bank or Judea and Samaria that no Jew live?
I mean, well, what is exactly your question simplified? Because
the question is, where is there more potential for having coexistence between Jews and Muslims or Jews and Arabs together?
You need to respect Islamic tradition and laws at that point, but that's like a different.
Why the Islamic tradition and law doesn't allow even one Jew to live there? Not to mention, we have in Israel, even in the street signs, we have Arabic in the street signs. In the West Bank, in Palestinian towns, you don't even have Hebrew.
You have Lebanon right now is allowing Christians and Muslims and Jews to live in one spot.
Do you have in Lebanon? You can see Jews with kippah going in broad daylight and having the Jewish identity in public, like you have Muslims and Christians.
And at the current moment, no, because of the current war. But regardless, let's say.
So maybe you should initiate moves to make it more accessible to Jews as well. So maybe we can create some recognition or mutual steps
accessible
to build
Jews
trust.
or governed accessible to Jews or governed by the Jews? Because at the end of the day, you think I want to be governed by Israel? Why would
Why
I
not?
want
Why
to be
not? In Israel, why not?
Why
In
would
Israel,
I?
why not?
Yes, see, this
If
is
I would
called
be,
invasion.
by the way, if I would
Why
be,
would
if I would be a
why
Jew
would
in
I want to
Lebanon,
be?
if I would be a
Look at
Jew in Lebanon, if I would be a Jew in Lebanon or Syria or Iraq or Egypt, and the Muslim rule give me rights and also responsibilities and obligations, why not? I would accept to live under Islamic rule. Why not?
I mean, under Islamic rule, but this is not what the Jews are offering.
So
I mean, they
why
haven't
why
proven it to
can't
me.
the Muslim live under Jewish rule?
Israel has
Why
not proven
can't a
to me that
Muslim
they're
live
doing
under
that.
Jewish rule?
The only thing that
Why
Israel
can't
now has
answer
proved
me?
to me,
Answer me. Why can't a Muslim live under Jewish rule, but why can't Jews live under Muslim rule, but Muslims cannot live under Jewish rule? Why?
I never said that they couldn't. They could if the Jews were, or the secular Jews especially, and Israel in a whole was a very decent and peaceful operation sense.
What's
Instead,
happening in Israel
I've heard-
95% of the time? What they live in coexistence when there's no intifadas or uprising.
But
What
the Israeli
happens?
government is is the Israeli government a peaceful organization?
Of course. But when we are being attacked, of course, when we are being attacked, we're gonna be.
100,000
When
or
we are
more
being
people
attacked,
dead
we're gonna
in
be
Gaza
aggressive, bro.
is not peaceful.
Indigenous people,
It
when
never
being
will
attacked
be.
in their land, they're gonna be aggressive. What to do?
100,000 people. And by the way, Hamas is a very small group.
Doesn't matter. There's still murders. There's still murders. They're still armed. Doesn't matter.
Children are being shot in the back every day in the Gaza.
You don't have a proof
by
that children.
IDF soldiers.
You don't have a proof. I'm not saying that
there
kids
is proof,
didn't.
though.
I
There
don't
is
say
proof.
that
There's
kids don't
X-ray
die in
scans.
Gaza. I don't say that kids
They
don't
die
die in
on
Gaza.
purpose. They die on purpose
I don't say that kids
by
don't
the
die in
IDF
Gaza,
soldiers.
and I don't say that
IDF
the Palestinians do not
IDF
suffer.
soldiers today.
I do not say that, but you don't
IDF
have a proof that Israeli IDF shoot
IDF
deliberately
soldiers today,
Palestinians,
and you can even get on the
Palestinian
live. Once
kids.
you get on this live and put it to your own people, right? Pretend to be a Lebanese, pretend to be Palestinian. I want you to do that today, and I want you to see how the own IDF soldiers react. If I don't say you love Israel, or what's it called, or you get on this like sense of thinking that Israel is not a peaceful organization, because at the end of the day, they'll come at you. They'll call you a pig. They'll call you a dog.
Bro, not that I agree with
say
that, but
we-
is the
they
other
say that
side
they
peaceful
say that I will
and
fuck
speak
the
about
children?
pink teddy bears and flying goats
No,
and
but they
and
yeah,
then
IDF soldiers, is it normal? You tell me
and
one thing.
candies?
Is it normal that IDF soldiers will say that they want to fuck the children, that they want to kill the children, that they want to rape the women, that they want
To
to
be
kill the
honest
women?
with you,
that they
to
wanna-
be honest with you, no, it's not should be like that. And you know what? When soldiers
it
say
is
that,
like that.
wait. When soldiers say that they want to kill Palestinian kids, I 100% condemn that. Not 100%, 180% condemn that. But when IDF soldiers say we're gonna fuck Hamas, I'm 100%, 180,000% with that.
That is irrelevant, though. I'm not talking
It's
about
not
Hamas.
irrelevant. By the way, our
because-
enemies, wait,
because
one
Hamas-
second,
no,
one second. Our enemies from the other side, do they say that they are going to love Israel and love the Jews and, they don't want to kill Israelis and kill, our people? I mean, come on, let's be real.
You can barely, from a media standpoint, from a people standpoint.
Come
you can
on,
barely hear
man,
what Hamas
come
is
on.
saying
You have
over
more.
all the-
You have more humbleness than that. Come on. Don't you think that I hear
Look,
when I
man.
speak here
Look.
and when I see also on social media, people, Muslims, Arabs, Palestinians say we're going to kill all the Jews and that's okay?
Who said that? It's only because of what's happening today.
Man,
You
it's
even
not even, it's not,
If you see media
forget
like
about
this,
it. I
it's
could
because
say
of
the
what's
same
happening
thing
today.
about, I could say the same thing about the idea of soul, but I condemn that. Can you condemn Muslims that say we're going to kill all the Jews?
100%, because
All right,
not
that's
all the
good.
Jews are bad.
All right,
but
that's
if
good.
I hear a Muslim say that they're going to kill all the IDF soldiers, I 100% agree.
Okay, because
you know
we're
what I'm saying?
enemies, by the way, and that's a natural situation, unfortunately.
Yes. Now, however, there is a solution. There is a solution.
What is the solution in your opinion?
Stop the invasion of Lebanon. Live in the land that you currently have. It's beautiful. It's
You
flourishing.
know what? Fine. You know what? Wait. You know what? Let's say that I agree that we should stop the invasion to Lebanon. Now you need to agree to something that I say. Stop the resistance to Israel. Stop the resistance to Israel. Do you agree?
If there is no resistance to Israel, there is no resistance to Israel at the current moment in life, right now, unless there's a governed party, and I don't trust the U.S. because they are funding Israel currently, unless there's a governed party, a big governed party, say China, I don't know, like something. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna, to watch over, because the UN is basically bullshit. I mean, they have a warrant for Benjamin Netanyahu.
Brother, don't deflect. Will you say we're gonna stop the resistance to Israel? Yes or no?
No, hell no, not right now.
Okay,
not
okay.
right now.
You see, again, I was saying, we should stop the invasion to Lebanon. I was expecting, I was expecting to hear also from you to say we should stop the resistance to Israel, but you can't. You know why you can't? I tell you why you can't.
The resistance.
Because
why would I have
the identity, the identity that most of you guys who are pro-Palestine, you're actually not pro-Palestine. You're anti-Israel. What defines you is to be anti-something. Without the resistance, you have no existence. Let's be real. Therefore, when I say stop the resistance, you cannot say that, because without resistance, you have no that you know what's the tragedy here?
Exactly.
When
So
there's gonna be peace, when there's gonna be peace, when there's not gonna be any necessity for resistance, you will have no existence. You will have identity crisis. That's why you cannot reach to peace.
Nope. No. Because we would not have a strong resistance today had it not been for Israel in 1970 in the
1948. That's why our legitimate return to our land, you cannot accept, because what defines you, unfortunately, is the resistance to my people coming back to our homeland. Exactly how you know from history that we are from this land. By the way, you as a Muslim, right? You are a Muslim, right?
You know what? Jews originally are. However, I don't
if we are originally are, then it means that we are coming back to our homeland. It's not that we are colonizers, foreigners that come to somewhere that we do not belong.
What about my people that belonged in this homeland from the beginning as well? I mean, you have to. We're talking even before the Jews.
Which homeland? Lebanon.
Yeah. Let's
live in Lebanon. Fine, great.
You want to go back? You want to go back
to the Levant, to the Middle East? That's great.
You want to go back 3,000 years?
I do not need to negate your belonging to Lebanon.
Yeah, I belong there more than you belong there, and that's off of DNA.
I belong to Israel much more than you think.
You belong to what?
All of the Israel, all of the Jews, all of the Jews. You cannot do nothing against that. You can tell a lot of stories. You can tell a lot of narratives.
And as long as the resistance is still within
as long
Lebanon,
as the resistance, you know what's going to be, unfortunately? We're going to suffer, but you're going to sacrifice, you're going to suffer, you're going to die, but you're going to complain a lot. That's what's going to be.
So you are agreeing and basically encouraging that Israel should invade neighboring countries to achieve the greater Israel idea.
No, you put words in my mouth now. It's not what I say.
No, I'm asking you.
What I say is the following. The borders of my land is from the river to the sea, exactly how it's described in the book of Ezekiel, because actually we have biblical legitimacy to come back and inherit our land. Anyway, there were always Jews in the land of Israel, what you mistakenly refer to as Palestine. Always. You cannot deny that. By the way, a lot of Palestinians today, I don't know if you know, a lot of Palestinians today have Jewish roots. Do you know that?
Yeah, and I'm not denying the fact that from back in the day, I mean, you got to understand how many people were intermarriage.
Right.
I'm not saying
I agree, but those of us, the Jewish people,
you might even have some. You as a person might even have some Arab in you. I'm not sure.
Maybe, but my genes, my DNA comes from here.
Have you spit in a tube and checked?
My cousin did, yeah. And he have about my cousin have about 70%, something.
Wait,
like.
Are they not legal?
Huh?
Are DNA tests?
That's another lie that they sell you, because you're naive. You get that, bro. I had here 100 DNA kits by Israeli DNA company. Google now myheritage.com, Israeli company. And this company wanted to make, before the war, with us. I had a peace organization, by the way. I really believe in coexistence.
Let's forget about.
Wait. Let me finish this point.
Why does everything have to go?
Let me finish this point. I had 100 DNA kits here, 50 to test Palestinians and 50 to test Jews to see if we have family connections, because we want to create connections. We are not based on resistance like you guys, unfortunately.
I'm not based on resistance.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Of course.
Not planning on
you maybe much less than most of the. You may be much less than most of the pro-Palestine people that I have conversations here, or debates, or rants, but most of you guys do.
Look, because I don't agree with everything blindly. Like, I'm not going to agree with everything blindly. But what I'm trying to say is, from my point of view and from what I stand for morally, you have a country that currently is like engaging and wanting to invade. Of course, there's going to be a resistance group, and of course, they shouldn't let it happen. However, without the idea of invasion, if Israel said today that we don't want to invade anymore, there would be no war. There would be no war.
Brother, there would be no war if you guys only say, you know what? We accept that you are indeed the Jews that came from this land. We accept that indeed you have history here. We accept that indeed Allah destined this land to you. And then we could have said, you know what? If you accept that, the Muslims, if you Muslims accept that, we could say from our side, you know what? Let us formulate some kind of a system to include the Palestinians from the river to the sea within Jewish-Israeli rule, with fairness, with rights, with freedom.
Under Jewish-Israeli rule.
It has to be under Jewish-Israeli rule, yes.
Yes, you know why it has to be under Jewish-Israeli rule?
By the way, here there's going to be Jewish-Israeli rule, like in the Middle East, there's Islamic Arab rule. Why not?
So I can ask you a question. What about Saudi Arabia one day? Do you decide you also have to have Jewish-Israeli rule there?
No, who talk about Saudi Arabia?
No.
When did you hear official Israeli ministers say something about taking Saudi Arabia?
I didn't say I heard that. I'm saying, do you think that would also
Bro, it's the same way like they indoctrinate you that it's the same way like they indoctrinate you that DNA test is illegal in Israel. The same way like there's a genocide and there's apartheid and that we want to take Saudi Arabia.
It's not indoctrination. It's not you're basically telling me now that Lebanon belongs to the Jews.
I didn't say that Lebanon. I said that maybe south of Lebanon, part of it was part of the kingdom of Israel. Yes, and factually it was.
What about up to Beirut? What about up there? North?
It reached more or less until Tyre.
Because they went up to Beirut.
The northern tribes of Israel were living until something like Tyre, something like that.
I mean, they went past Sur. They went way past.
If you look at biblical maps, by the way, that refer to where the kingdom of Israel, the United Kingdom of Israel, in the King David and Solomon, you know that the tribe of I think Zebulun was all the way to the north. I'm not saying necessarily that Israel need to annex all of or to restore its sovereignty all over south of Lebanon, but because of the war. Because, pardon my French, you guys fucked around with us. We're going to take some land, yeah.
No. I mean, you guys fucked around with us. We should take some land back, no? It's the same way.
Bro.
We should take some land back because our beliefs, this is how it sounds. What if I told you today that the resistance, you know what, they said, fuck it, man. Like, we need our land back. And we're
but you guys say, especially Hezbollah. By the way, I must tell to you, I actually kind of appreciated Hassan Nasrallah. I even wrote about him in my book. I am an author, actually. I have a book called Shema Ishmael, which is in Arabic, Ismail, Hero Ishmael, which is something that I want to say to the Muslims. And I actually appreciated Nasrallah, who was a bitter enemy, but a very smart man, I must say. Very smart man. And he said that the Israeli, but something he was very wrong. He said that the Israeli society is so fragile, like the Bait al-Ankabut, like spider webs, that once it's going to be a little bit shake, it's all going to crumble. But we know what happened, when there was a big shake like October 7. You know what happened to us and what happened to him.
God rest his soul, man.
He also had the sin of arrogance. He thought that he's invincible.
He fought for his people to the end.
Maybe he was. I agree. He was a very smart man, not unlike the scumbags from Hamas that basically thought that once they start October 7th, Allah will strengthen their hands and they're gonna conquer all of Palestine. Now the remains of their leadership can make the V sign behind them. There's nothing but rubble.
I mean, you can never use justification, especially Israel, can never use justification of God.
Of course we can. Of course we can. Of course we can.
Of course you cannot. You know why?
Why not? Why you do not use justifications of God as Muslims? You guys do not use justification from God, from Allah.
Astaghfirullah. First of all, astaghfirullah. Look God in the face and tell him that you killed close to 100,000 civilians.
No. Again, it's not 200,000 people. No. And you do not start a war. You do not start a war and kill my people and think that nothing's gonna happen. There's gonna be consequences.
Yeah, see, tell this
There's
to God.
morality. There's morality. There's universal morality in the Quran, in the New Testament, and in the Torah. You do not make wrongdoings and attack and do and take what is not yours and expect nothing gonna happen in return.
Tell this to God, because how many people were killed on October 7th?
From my people?
Yeah.
You mean like the 1,200 people that were killed, that you, by the way, say that we killed our own people, and by the way, not to mention that 250, the 250 prisoner,
so 250 prisoners,
the 250 captives, hostages actually, among them women and children that as a Muslim you should not take as prisoners of war. Why did Muslims take women and children, babies as prisoners of war?
Brother, there's literally videos online of IDF soldiers walking around naked, men, women, and babies, and walking them, parading them around, like in Gaza. So we can't even use that.
What?
Parading, I don't know exactly what they were doing and what the exact goal was, but they had them grouped up, and they were defenseless, and they were being kicked to the ground. I mean, you can literally look up these videos yourself. I don't know what they blocked in Israel, to be fair.
I don't know exactly what he's talking about, but I don't know.
Because I don't know exactly what you guys have blocked up in the media, but you can literally see these videos.
Our media is super duper, too much information, by the way, unlike your media. Your media is uniformed. Only one narrative, by the way. Our media has right. Our media has right. Our media has left. Our media has anti-Israel opinions. And in our Knesset, in our parliament, there are anti-Zionist Arab parties. So you want to talk to me and lecture me about freedom of speech?
Let me tell you, it's funny that you say that when I'm literally in a country right now that's letting the media out for anti-Zionism, yet they are so pro-Zionism, this government. Makes no sense. Maybe you should talk to Donald Trump. Like, I don't know.
Because you have in America freedom of speech, not like you have in the
Israelis.
Not like you have in your country, and not like you have in Gaza. Not in Gaza, man. You say one word, a little bit criticism against Hamas, you know what will happen. So come on, let's be real about that. Come on. How can you develop? By the way, real talk.
I really don't.
Real talk. How can you develop? How can you develop healthy society and a healthy discussion if you cannot even criticize a little bit about your government? How can you?
No, 100%. And I'm not. Well, I don't know what's. See, I don't know really how like Gaza governs its own people. Like,
I mean, come on, man. You seem really as a humble, intelligent person. I don't agree with you. But you seem respected, and you seem that you have the ability to have broad worldview. How can you develop healthy public discourse when you cannot say some stuff, not to mention criticize your government? Look at Gaza. Look at what happened in Gaza. In Gaza, they didn't have elections. They had only one elections. And people in your side say that there was democracy in Gaza. Okay, if this is the standards of democracy, well, your people or people in America will be fine that you're gonna have one election once in 20 years?
I mean, who are you to decide whether somebody governs their people the right way or not? Like, that's
okay.
Not really
so you agree that there's gonna be tyranny. So you agree with tyranny?
100% in the certain governments. However,
that's interesting. That's your choice. Fine.
I don't want to speak on the government of Gaza in any way because I'm not.
You shouldn't, because you're not gonna come out good, bro.
Well, what do you mean? I don't know what that means, bro.
Because they're fucked up. Hamas is fucked up. It's not the government that I'm sure you would prefer to live in the U.S. and even in Lebanon than to live in Gaza under Hamas. I'm sure of that.
Maybe.
I don't think that you disagree with me. You can say you were right.
Well, I don't know. I really don't. Like this, for all viewers watching, I do not know anything about Gazan government rule. I don't know anything about Hamas under the rule of Gazan people. I do not know anything about that.
Come on, bro. You see the big picture. You can see the big picture. Come on. Okay.
No, I don't. Well, because the big picture comes back down to. I mean, you're gonna say that, but then you're gonna also make justification as to why Israel can go into South Lebanon when the people are governed just fine in South
Bro, I
Lebanon.
tell you,
and
Israel went to
perfectly
South
happy,
Lebanon. We should take
perfectly
more of
happy,
South
perfectly
Lebanon
healthy.
because Hezbollah attacked us October 8th. We didn't do shit in
That-
South Lebanon. Actually, we were deterred and we were afraid, unfortunately, to do preventive strikes in
They
South
had
Lebanon.
already set up pagers within Hezbollah.
Of
What are you
course,
talking about?
of course.
They had already set up an attack
Of course,
plan.
and why
So
did
to
they
say you
operate?
didn't do
Why
shit-
did they
to
take?
say
Why
you
did they
didn't
take
do
us?
shit-
Why did they take us about a year to blow the
say-
pages? Because we gave you a chance, and you
because
didn't. You
because they
didn't
almost
listen.
found out.
You didn't listen to
Because they
the
almost found
warnings.
out.
Your leaders, unfortunately, Hassan Nasrallah again, who was a smart leader, he was arrogant. He thought that he can do whatever the fuck he wants, and he paid the price. And by the way, many Hezbollah fighters too.
God rest his soul.
I mean, by the way, Hezbollah fighters, the only V sign they can do is like this. You know, they
God
cannot
rest his
have two
soul.
fingers.
It's funny that you say that again. Like they had already set up for militia. They had
Sure.
already
Why can't
for
we
an
defend
attack.
ourselves? Why can't we
So to
even
say-
attack?
to-
Why can't? This is the question. Why
That's
can't
an
we?
attack.
Why can't
an
we
attack,
do
not
the
an defense.
initiative and attack? And you can do initiative and attack us. Why?
That's an attack, not a defense. And at that time, because you had literally just started bombing Gaza, as to why the Hezbollah strike.
By the way,
I
who
understand
started the
that.
war in the October
That's
7?
a big
Who
debate
started the
here
war in
within
October 7?
That-
Who invaded
that's a
who?
big debate.
Who invaded
That's a
who?
big debate.
Who invaded who in
That's a
October
big-
7?
Okay,
Did
well, let me
Israel
continue
attack
on my
Gaza?
topic.
Did Israel start the
let me
war or did
continue my
Gaza
topic.
start the war in Israel?
Well, let me continue my topic. I was talking
Honest.
about
Be
before.
honest. I want to hear honesty.
Let me talk about my topic before. Let me
No,
talk
ask
about
you
my
a simple
topic.
question, bro.
Well, I don't
Who
want to answer
started
it
the
until
war?
I finish.
Who started the
This
war
is-
that now people say
let
that
me
Israel's attack on Gaza?
I thought you said you wanted to have a good conversation.
Okay, you're
Based on
right.
that.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. So, but I'm talking about beforehand. Like, you have to understand in that moment that in the Lebanese politics in general right now, there's a lot of people unhappy with that at that point, with the strike of Lebanon within Israel, and then.
And by the way, why is that? Because by the way, why I give Nasrallah also more credit? Because he had more responsibility than Hamas leaders. Because he also had responsibility to people. He also made sure that there's gonna be, you know, he has to also take into consideration the Christians, the Jews. He has to have coalition, and he's not he's not a hot-headed like Yahya Sinwar and all the scumbags from Gaza that thought that they can do whatever they want. They had no responsibility towards their own people until today. By the way, Hamas doesn't have responsibility towards the Palestinian people.
I mean, let me tell you something. Like, this is the thing, too. Like, before they even attacked anyway, I mean, Israel was going to, and you know they were going to, attack eventually or make their way with a planned strategic engagement into Lebanon. Very, very soon.
You mean before October 7th or after October 7th?
Before October 7th or after October 7th.
How before October 7th, bro? Hezbollah, I want to remind you, built a tent in Israeli territory. We didn't do shit. We didn't even bomb that tent. We were deterred from Hezbollah, actually, I must say.
We didn't do shit in 2006. We didn't do shit.
Nah, come on, man. Man, also drones
No, we didn't.
flown into Israel before the war.
I mean, we've been under French rule, man. Like, we've been under rule from European countries before. We know how it goes. Like, we know how it goes in Lebanon. You know how it is.
Okay, with this I agree with you. By the way, this was indeed colonialism, imperialism by Europeans that have nothing to do with our region. By the way, our region, yours and mine. I'm from this region. I'm not European.
You are not allowed. You are not. You are not. How do I explain it? Like, you are allowed to say you're from the region, but to say it has to be Jewish rule is power. It's just too much power.
Of course.
It's
Why not? Why not? Why not? I'm comfortable with having rule. By the way, there's Arab and Muslim rule. Why can't it be Jewish rule?
Jewish rule. It already is Jewish rule. It's got its own rule.
No.
Like,
before that, this is the whole man. This is the whole reason for the fight between us. You cannot accept that there's Jewish rule over Muslims. That's the reason for the conflict. I know, because for you guys, it's humiliation. But to have Jews living under, to have Jews living under your rule, that's okay.
That's not. Who said that?
Wait.
Who said that?
Is it okay that Jews gonna be under Muslim rule?
No.
No?
No.
Wait, if I'm as a Jew in Lebanon, if I was born as a Jew in Lebanon, you say basically
Born
that I
as a
should.
Jew in Lebanon is different.
You say
Born as a Jew
basically.
in Lebanon is different.
You say basically that I need to revolt and I need to be defiant against Muslim rule in Lebanon. That's what you say?
No. But we're not talking about born. We're talking about invasion.
No. If I'm as a Jew, if I was born, and by the way, Jews were always in the land of Israel, not in many numbers during the years, but there always Jewish presence in the land of Israel, or what you refer to as Palestine.
And nobody, well, I mean, you can.
And by the way, Muslims and Arabs, let's be honest, I mean, until the 7th century, there wasn't Arab or Muslim rule in my country, in my land, and also in your land.
I mean,
why can Muslims conquer and rule over the entire Middle East and most of Asia and Africa, and basically about 50% of Earth, and Jews cannot have a rule over 0.01%? Why?
My blood as an Arab, as a Levantine like person.
You don't say yet if you are Shia or Sunnah.
I'm Shia, bro.
You're Shia, yeah, I assume, yeah.
You have to assume. You should assume by now.
By the way, I'm gonna surprise you. I really respect Islam, and I really see the Quran as a divine revelation came to you to redeem the Muslims or the Arabs from the Jahiliyyah. And I can even
So you believe God spoke to us?
Huh?
Like you believe God spoke to Muhammad then, in that sense?
I think that it's possible, yeah. And I tell you also why. I tell you in a simple way. Number one, God, who is the Almighty, He obviously wants to spread His word among the nations, to be known among the nations, and spread the Tawahid to all over the world, in humanity. So, by the way, also in our sources, we know that God, in our sources, I'm talking about our sources that you claim that are corrupted. I'm saying this. We know that God, Allah, wait. We know that Allah sent prophets who are not among Bani Israel for other nations like Bil'am, like Job, like, we have cases like this. So it's not impossible that indeed Allah sent Muhammad to the Arabs in Arab language to give them the revelation of the Quran and make them to believe in the Tawahid, and that's Alhamdulillah. That's a good thing.
Well, in that sense, I mean, this is the problem. Well, this is where it comes down to.
And by the way, you guys, unfortunately indoctrinated that our Torah is corrupted, that we are not the Bani Israel.
It's the Talmud.
No. By the way, the Talmud is also part. It's like I'm gonna say that the Hadith is a fake source. I'm not saying that.
I don't like Hadith.
Doesn't matter, but most of the Muslim Ummah does.
Yes. And so, well, that's why I'm not really going to bring the Talmud into. I wasn't even going to talk about corrupted texts because.
By the way, also in the Talmud, there are criticisms against non-Jews, and also things that are very, very respectful to non-Jews. It's not binary. It's something holistic.
The Talmud, though.
Huh?
Forget the Talmud, though. Forget the Talmud because I'm gonna, let's not bring Hadith into it either. Let's just bring the holy text. I mean, you open the Quran, first few pages. What does it say? Jewish, Christian. Are good, the brothers.
Depends who. Those who are righteous, also Muslims. You cannot be.
Those are the book, but those are the book are to be respected. It says that in the Quran.
The Quran, by the way, came to confirm my Torah, not to cancel the Torah.
Yeah,
but now, unfortunately, you guys say now. By the way, that's a reform interpretation that the Quran, that the Torah that we have today is corrupted, and I'm gonna prove to you also how it's not.
I didn't say it was corrupted. I said that.
But most of the Muslims say that. Let's be honest, man.
I mean, I don't really like.
I do not go, even though there's interpretation. Even though there's interpretations among people who are very anti-Muslim that say that the Quran was not revealed, and Uthman edited the Quran.
General message,
I will not say it not only to you, but not in general. Why? Because I respect you. I respect your revelation, your holy book. Unfortunately, a lot of you guys cannot do the same to us.
Well, I'm not really of that.
And you know that I'm right. I'm not saying that you specifically, but you know that I'm right regarding that.
Yeah, with a lot of Muslims in general, but they can also disagree upon their own book and their own hadiths. And religion
Maybe
problem
they
with this?
disagree, but they never say that the
No, but they
Quran
argue.
is not
They argue
legitimate,
heavily.
but they say that the Torah is illegitimate.
No, the
Oh,
Torah.
come on, man, come on, let's be real.
In our religion, the Torah was the first revelation.
You
of God.
say that the Torah is a holy book, but you say that the Torah we have today is corrupted. So do you know what the Torah says? How can you
I mean,
even know the
I
Torah
would not.
if you say that
I'd
what
have
we
to-
have is corrupted?
I mean, you have to compare. Well, for that, I can't speak for them because again, like from what I know, that the Torah, like as long as you can trace the words back, I probably should not be corrupted. I don't know how far back. I'm not a historian on.
By the way, I'm just gonna say when my book gonna be translated to English, I discuss a lot about the validity of the Torah, also the mindset that create completion between Islam and Judaism, between the Torah and the Quran. I don't negate the Quran. I just say that the interpretation that a lot of you guys have is corrupted. The interpretation, not the scripture, not the Quran. I give you an example, okay? I give you an example regarding the Hadith. You want to hear an example?
Well, can we stick on the topic of what
All right, go ahead. I was talking too much. You're right.
Yeah, we can get back to more friendlier stuff after. It's just more so like I want to get back to this the solution, because what is your solution is to invade Lebanon. Your solution is to invade Gaza and to put us under Jewish rule. And whether you say it's very nice or not,
it's not what I said, bro. It's not what I said.
No, but it is kind of like that, because in a sense you want the South, and I get like you want.
I'm not saying necessarily that I want the South. I'm saying that historically there was the kingdom of Israel there, the northern tribe. But I'm not saying that this is the solution necessarily that I support.
So with the Romans,
let's talk about Gaza, Israel, and the West Bank, or Judea and Samaria, if you may.
Should the Italians of today decide to revolt back and take back all of Rome?
But they are in Rome.
I mean, I'm saying all of it, like every Roman empire, like every Roman.
You mean all of the Roman Empire? But the Roman Empire was an empire, and it conquered and colonized places that weren't theirs.
Should they take their Roman Empire back?
No. Why? Because it's not theirs. Because it's not theirs.
They have justification.
Because their land of origin is Italy. My land of origin is Israel, not somewhere else.
Not by blood.
By blood, by culture, by scripture, by religion, by praying 3 times a day.
How much of you is actually still Jewish? And I'm not even trying to be disrespectful.
You mean DNA-wise? DNA?
Yep. DNA,
even the Ashkenazim, listen, even the Ashkenazim have about between 70 and 80% DNA to the Levantines, to the Israelites, or what you refer to as Canaanites. By the way, very similar. The DNA even of the Ashkenazim by researchers is very similar, to who? To the Palestinians. Yeah.
I'm not saying no, but
even the Ashkenazim. I'm not talking about even Yemenite Jews or Ethiopian Jews or Middle Eastern Jews from Iraq, from Egypt, from Syria, from even Persia, that have a lot of similar, even not only DNA but also tradition that are more Middle Eastern.
So I mean, how about like? You can argue as well. If we're going to go back so far with DNA, so far, I mean, you're going back 3,000 years. Why don't we go back 4,000 years? Why don't we go back 5,000 years?
Why not? But by the way, again, brother.
Listen, please let me continue. Please.
Okay, go ahead.
Why don't we go back to when the Phoenicians were under control of that region at the time? Why don't we just say that? Why don't I just say that I'm Phoenician and that you guys need to live under the rule of our new Phoenician empire? Why not?
But you never ruled over Israel. As Phoenicians, you never ruled over Israel. You had your Phoenician kingdom that was, by the way, in alliance with my kingdom back in the days. And it's not something bad.
But the Phoenician empire spread all the way down past Sur either. So
no, it didn't. It didn't rule over. It didn't rule over Israel.
I mean, there's building. You can literally. Have you been to Sur?
Where?
Have you been to right where Sur is? Right on the edge. I mean, I don't know.
Sur, yeah. But this is basically, by the way, also the northern tribes of Israel. Their border was Tyre, Sur. I'm not saying again that Israel need to restore its sovereignty all over the south of Lebanon, or even at Lebanon in general. I'm not saying that. But
Okay.
we are indigenous people here, and even the general principle that we have historical claim to be here and to rule here, you cannot accept because of the Islamic indoctrination that Jews cannot rule over Muslims,
Wait,
even
but
though
so I mean, so
even
no,
though
I
in your
understand. Okay,
Quran,
so
even though in your
well,
Quran it says,
I'm trying to understand your point, because do you believe that Israel should like reclaim the South or not? Because this is whether you think you're indigenous to the land is like respectable to a degree. Yeah, you were here. I'm not saying you weren't. I mean, you were. But
okay,
what I'm trying to say is, I mean, today's day and age, like, you don't have to annex south of Lebanon. It doesn't have to happen. It could just be left how it is and just forget, like, you know, it happened, and you can still stay here, not saying no, under your own rule and your own plot of land, which you already have, no? I mean, to the like, you have it now. It's already been achieved.
you talk about the Israel proper, right?
Israel now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Israel now, it's already been achieved. When you have an Israel, you have one.
Yeah, but we need to
Why even take more land? Why do you need it anymore?
Let's talk specifically.
You can say that it was from 3,000 years ago.
Well, let's talk specifically about 3 areas, okay? Now that are part of the discussion: Gaza, Judea and Samaria, that you unfortunately call the West Bank, and South Lebanon, okay? Let's talk about each and every one in a unique way, okay? Gaza was part of Israel, the kingdom of Israel, at some point. And we have historical claims. And by the way, there was also Jewish community in Gaza up until the 20th century. Even in the 20th century, after the Arabs revolted, the Jewish community, the small Jewish community that was in Gaza, also synagogues in Gaza, was kicked out, and there was no more Jewish life in Gaza. Let's talk also about the West Bank, what you refer as the West Bank. By the way, the name West Bank, names have meaning. Do you know why they call the West Bank the West Bank? Is that indigenous name from the land of Israel or Palestine?
Yeah.
Why do people call the West Bank the West Bank?
I'm not sure.
Let me tell you. Let me give you some knowledge about this. Because when up until 1948, this area wasn't called the West Bank. It was called East Palestine, Judea. Damn. No. Don't go away. All right, you back.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Still here?
Hello?
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 Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You're cutting out a little bit, man.
I can hear you, man. Damn, that was a really nice conversation, unfortunately.